Are you looking for the best iPhone for camera? In this video we will find some of the 5 best iPhone for camera on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. iPhone 14 Pro Max. When Apple released the iPhone 14 in September 2022, it marked a significant jump in camera specs. The previous flagship, the 13 Pro Max, had a 12MP main camera. The iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max pushed this to 48MP. Interestingly, they used this 48MP capacity to give what Apple calls optical quality zoom. In effect, you shoot in 48MP RAW and can zoom, aka crop, to a 12MP 2x telephoto. We've put the Pro and Pro Max together in this review. That's because their photography capabilities are the same. The difference is in the size of the screen. If you don't mind the extra size, you'll get to appreciate your photos much more on the bigger screen. The 48MP main camera on the iPhone Pro/Pro Max is a 24mm f/1.787 element lens. It is notable for its quad-pixel construction and its sensor shift image stabilization (IS). This is used to give super smooth video as well as helping to keep your shots sharp. A 12MP 2x telephoto 48mm f/1.78 lens is achieved by using a sensor crop from the main camera. Both have 100% focus pixels, which means both have edge-to-edge autofocus. The 12MP ultra-wide lens is a 13mm f/2.26 element lens. The 120-degree field of view will give you GoPro-like images and video. Like the main camera, it has 100% focus pixels. The final lens on the back of the phone is a 12MP 77mm f/2.86 element telephoto lens. It has optical IS in both photo and video modes. So the camera configurations are impressive. They are certainly the best ever found on an iPhone and they rival many Android devices. But smartphone cameras are not all about lens sizes and specs. What enables your, let's be honest, tiny smartphone camera lens to produce stunning results is the software. Once the light from the lens hits the sensor, smartphone manufacturers apply lots of tweaks. These make up for the shortcomings of lens real estate, which is smaller than a fingernail. One example of this is the portrait-friendly 77mm lens. It benefits from its largish maximum aperture to produce bokeh and throw the background out of focus. But additional processing will enhance that effect. Video is well covered on the iPhone 14 Pros. With a headline figure of 4K at up to 60 frames per second, you also get Apple ProRes video. And there are other modes, including Cinematic Mode, which shoots at 4K HDR at 30 frames per second. You can also get the GoPro look with 240 frames per second slow mo at 1080p. With the stabilization and ultra-wide lens, it's quite the feature. The iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max are the clear winners for the Best iPhone Camera Award. If you want the best viewing experience, then go for the Max. If you like a smaller phone, the iPhone 14 Pro is for you. Number 2. iPhone 13 Pro/Pro Max. We'll consider the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max together as well. The cameras are the same, with the difference being screen size and battery performance. The iPhone 13 Pro/Pro Max has one of the best cameras on any smartphone, whether iOS or Android. And you get an excellent set of camera hardware and features. The iPhone 13 Pro Max has a 12MP sensor resolution. And that's for the cameras at the front and rear of the phone. The front camera has a wide-angle lens with an aperture of f/2.2. It's nothing revolutionary. But you can snap some stunning selfies. Other photographers will be more interested in the rear camera. It's a triple camera unit with 3 separate lenses. There's an ultra-wide lens with an f/1.8 aperture. There's an f/1.5 wide-angle lens. And there's a telephoto lens with an f/2.8 aperture to complete the trio. The 3 lenses give you incredible shooting options. It's a versatile smartphone for photographers. The native camera app is packed with photography features. There's a portrait mode for front and rear cameras. There's depth control for accurate shooting. And there's a night mode for after-dark photography. The Smart HDR is great for stills, but you also get HDR video recording. The 13 Pro Max is a fantastic video camera too. You can shoot 4K Dolby Vision videos at a frame rate of 60 frames per second. And you also have cinematic mode for pro-looking videos. It adds a shallow depth of field to the footage. And it can shift focus from one subject to another automatically. We recommend the version with 512 gigabytes of memory. But you can get the 1 terabyte model if you need more storage. The battery life is excellent. And one of the reasons the iPhone 13 Pro Max beats the iPhone 13 Pro? It has a much improved battery life. And the bigger screen allows you to see your photos more clearly. Number 3. iPhone 14 Plus. The main difference between the iPhone 14 Plus and the Pro versions lies in the camera. It's immediately obvious as there is a cluster of 2, not 3, lenses on the back. What's missing is the telephoto lens. And this also means there is no ProRes 4K or macro video. Other than that, photographic performance is the same. The iPhone 14 Plus offers the larger screen. But the choice between these two and the Pro versions is entirely down to how important the extra camera is for you. Number 4. iPhone 12 Pro/Pro Max. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is the older version of the 13 Pro Max. We're a few years on from the release date in 2020. But the iPhone 12 Pro Max remains one of the best iPhone cameras for photography. Apple is well aware that cameras are a big selling point in smartphones. And the iPhone 12 Pro Max answered that demand. The front and rear cameras both have a 12MP sensor. You can expect impressive image quality. The front camera has a wide-angle lens with a large f/2.2 aperture for low light. It gives you light and airy self-portraits. And it's great for casual blogs. The serious camera specs are found on the rear camera. It's a triple camera unit, much like the one on the 13 Pro Max. Each iPhone camera lens has a different focal length, giving you more photography options. An ultra-wide-angle lens has a 13mm focal length with a f/2.4 aperture. A standard wide-angle lens has a 16mm focal length with an f/1.6 aperture. A telephoto lens has a 52mm focal length with an f/2 aperture. The apertures aren't as wide as those on the 13 Max Pro. But they still give you plenty of light for high-quality photography. That's why it's still one of the best camera phones. The camera has a 5x optical zoom. And an optical zoom means no pixelation when you zoom in. You also have optical image stabilization to reduce camera shake. You get a handful of excellent photo modes for different lighting. These include night, smart HDR, and deep fusion modes. They improve image details and textures in medium to low light. Plus, there's 4K Dolby Vision HDR video recording. The latest iPhone cameras have topped the 12 Pro Max. But not by much. It remains one of the best camera phones on the market. And its age makes it a more budget-friendly option for smartphone photographers. It's not the best iPhone camera. But it's close. Number 5. iPhone 13 mini. You will notice a pattern with the iPhone 13. It's pretty much the same as its Pro/Pro Plus siblings, but without the telephoto camera. That's why it comes after the older 12 Pro in this review. The third camera makes the latter stand out for photography. But in every other respect, the iPhone 13 matches its more expensive counterpart. The iPhone 13 mini packs the same features into a smaller body. And it does so at a decent cost saving. It's definitely the way to go if you want a better price or a smaller phone.